Ways to use newsletter for a marketing sales tool. Some of this is sort of obvious, but again, we've talked about how, the newsletter can generate information for you. Don't be afraid to ask for replies, give people a reason to reply to your newsletter. Keep in mind, this can be market research. It's a great way to, tap into your audience and hear from them. You can pay attention to what people click, like we talked about before. It tells you something about who those people are and what they're interested in. You can also segment those people. Somebody who, let's say I had a product about how to grow on Twitter. If somebody who, I could segment anyone who's clicked articles I've shared about Twitter and then email them to promote the Twitter course to them. And then also you can drive people to social posts to amplify them. This is something not enough people do. I think it's an easy missed opportunity that many people miss. People think about using social posts to promote their newsletter. They don't think about using their newsletter to promote their social posts to basically cheat the algorithm. So let's say you post something on Instagram that you want more people to see, or you had a question there. I could, in my newsletter, go, oh, by the way, we're having an amazing conversation on Instagram about the best ways to grow your audience. Go check it out. Go check out what people are saying in the comments and join in here with a link. Now, what happens is not only are you driving people to Instagram who, if they weren't following you, might now follow you, you're also spiking the algorithm because Instagram's going, oh my God, all these people are now coming to this post. This must be good, right? So I actually think it's something, what most people do in their newsletters, they just go, oh, follow me on Instagram or follow me on Twitter. You're better off driving to specific content on Instagram that people will see. And when they see it, they're more likely to engage and follow you and all of that. So again, think about it as two ways. And just to wrap up, I know most of you are going to monetize in ways that aren't directly through your newsletter. But if at some point you have a decent sized audience or specific niche and you're interested in monetizing the newsletter itself, these are basically the 7 ways to do it. One is advertising or sponsors. So you could sell sponsorships in your own newsletter. This is one of the advantages of it not being a brand newsletter, but a content-driven newsletter. If LaDonna's, and I don't know your company name, but if it was the LaDonna company newsletter, it's weird to sell a sponsorship. If it's Affluent Adventurers, cruise lines might line up to sponsor it. So again, that's an opportunity. Subscriptions and memberships, if you decide you want to have some content be paid, that's something you could certainly do. Product sales is obvious. You can sell products through the newsletter. Business opportunities, the newsletter can attract interesting partnerships or gives you another asset to play with. Content promotion and traffic. So what that means is, well, some people might pay you to, if you have a big enough audience, they might pay you to drive traffic to some of their own content. But even if you do something like, let's say, YouTube, where you monetize those views with ads on YouTube, having a big newsletter to be able to drive people to YouTube actually monetizes sort of on the back end through the YouTube ads. Consulting and services is an obvious one. And then donations, right? If your newsletter is good, you can allow people to, give donations to support it. You could also use the newsletter to get people to give donations to a cause that you care about. That can be interesting and helpful for your brand as well. So it's maybe the monetization isn't directly like give us money, but hey, if you've appreciated this free newsletter we give you over the year, please make a donation to this charity. We're collectively raising money for this charity that relates to your brand or whatever. Finally, there's a lot more ways I can help you. If you haven't already, fortheinterested.com/subscribe is my free newsletter. I think you will find it helpful if you found any of this helpful. I have a course specifically to help you grow your newsletter. It's called the Newsletter Accelerator, and you can get it at newslettercreators.com. This is how I do it, is a collection of resources where every week I basically share behind the scenes exactly how I do something to grow my audience or business. You can get that at joshspector.com/thisishow. If you want some consulting help, I do one-off calls as well as custom strategy plans that are usually like about a 2-month engagement. You can get details about all of that at joshspector.com/consulting. I have a free Facebook group, which is amazing and has like over 4,000 newsletter creators from all over the world sharing tips and stuff. And that's at facebook.com/group/newsletter creators. And I'm super active on Twitter at jspector. And if you do all those things, you're probably going to be really sick of me.